Recently, Sangyong Motors, the third largest automaker in Korea, applied for receivership due to 165 billion won debt. With Sangyong Motors at the crossroads of rehabilitation and bankruptcy, let's find out what the rehabilitation and insolvency policies are. Corporate body rehabilitation. Corporate body refers to being a subject of rights and duties other than the natural individual. This is what we call corporations. And the corporation faces financial difficulties when running a business, right? When a business does not go well, the corporate rehabilitation policy can be utilized right before the corporation becomes insolvent. This policy would adjust the debts owed to the investors and stockholders to prevent the corporation from bankruptcy. However, this policy is applicable only if it is more profitable to keep the company running than to sell it right away to pay off its debts. The process of corporate body rehabilitation is as follows. First, the corporate in debt applies for receivership at the court. Then, the court values the corporate and looks into the debt. When the court allows rehabilitation, the corporate must pay off the debts accordingly to the rehabilitation plan. The corporate might have reduced the amount of debt depending on the rehabilitation plan. Corporate body insolvency. While the rehabilitation policy is to overcome financial difficulties, the insolvency policy is used to liquidate the corporation. When a corporate body cannot pay off all the debts with its assets, the assets of the corporate body would be divided and distributed to those who have the right to receive them. The court sentences insolvency if the company is expected to have more losses by continuing the business. Often, the word insolvency is viewed negatively. Nonetheless, the insolvency policy has many positive features. Since the process is done by the court, people with the right to receive money can have the shares equally. Plus, the representative of the corporate body can liquidate the company and have a fresh start. Personal rehabilitation and insolvency. Just like corporations, individuals can be in debt. This policy exempts remaining debt when a certain amount has been paid for 3 to 5 years. However, this is only applicable when the individual with no ability to pay the debts has a steady source of income. For example, if a person with 1 billion amount of debt has annual salary of 200,000 won, he can never pay off instantly. Then, this person can apply for personal rehabilitation. A minimum amount for sustaining everyday life is not reflected in the calculation to enable the person to continue his living. If so, will the government repay exempted amounts instead? The answer is no. The government never pays the debt of individuals under any circumstances. So, even if you paid all the debt assigned by the court during your rehabilitation period, but you have not paid your debt in full, a person who lent you the money cannot receive the rest of the money. Therefore, you should be careful when you lend money, whether it is to a corporation or an individual. Question: which policy allows an individual at the state of insolvency to be exempted? The rest amount of debt when a certain amount is paid for 3 to 5 years. 1. Corporation rehabilitation. 2. Corporation insolvency. 3. Personal rehabilitation. 4. Personal insolvency. Answer: 3. Personal rehabilitation. Explanation: the policy that exempts remaining debt of an individual at the state of insolvency, after a certain amount of money has been paid steadily for 3 to 5 years, is called personal rehabilitation.